welcome back. It's been a while since I did a video, but it's about time to go around the garden and see what's happening. You can't hear it. It's not making the noise anymore because I started talking, but did you hear that and see that? That was a hummingbird, and I got an old hummingbird feeder from my grandpa a couple weekends ago. It had broken, so it doesn't work exactly like it's supposed to with the ant moat and everything, but I need to go ahead and rehang it. This guy's hungry, so let's see what happens. Now you may be asking yourself, Diana, why do you have vegetable oil or cooking oil or whatever is in that bottle? Well, since my hummingbird feeder doesn't work like it's supposed to, if I put this on the pole that's holding the hummingbird feeder, the ants don't like it. They actually like suffocate in it. So I'm gonna make sure that the ants can't crawl up to it, and then we're gonna see if we can get some live, hummingbird action on cameras. That hummingbird cooperated beautifully. So let's go ahead and get into the rest of the video. Cucumber plants. Death by squash bugs. When I was doing the research about the squash bugs, I did see that it said cucumbers, but I was kind of hoping that they wouldn't find their way out here because it's like, the front yard instead of the backyard, but I was sadly mistaken. The long beans are hanging in there. I think they started to die back because the cucumbers started to take over. So now that the cucumbers are dead, the long beans are like, hey, let's do this. My Monarch Way Station sign. Hello, thank you, monarchwatch.com. The cucamelons. What can we say about the cucamelons? They are drought resistant, they're pest tolerant, they're glorious, beautiful, and I probably won't grow them next year. The flower bed. I have this probably harebrained idea, but I want to expand the flowers. So I mowed really short everywhere that I want to kill the grass. So let me come down here, see if I can give you kind of an idea. So you can kind of see the taller grass like right around there. So I basically just want to take it to the curb right here at the edge of that bed. All of this area, pretty much the whole corner of the yard. It gets full sun. What time is it? It is 11:30 a.m. and this is how much sun it's getting. So I want to do flowers all the way up here along the side of the stairs, and then where those two passes are right there where I mowed my riding mower started sliding down the hill, so I was like, that's definitely too steep to mow. Let's just put flowers there. So we'll see if I accomplish that, and we'll see if next year this is a glorious flower area. My art project is over here now, but I wanted to show that my clematis have gone ahead and decided to grow some more. I thought they were dying, so I'm pretty happy about that. Hopefully that means next year we get to see some flowers. This area is pretty neglected, but there is oregano and rosemary here. There used to be sage, but it died off. I'm actually really impressed that the oregano, which is over on this side, came back as well as it did. All of those dead little stick looking things were what it was when the spring started, and everything else has just come back since. The rosemary plant I planted this spring, and it is getting bigger a little, so I don't know, I was considering moving this to put strawberries in it, but now maybe we'll leave it and maybe we get another one next time we go to the hardware store. This is elephant ear number 1. It didn't like the cold basement, so I brought it back out here and I proceeded to neglect it. So I might go ahead and water it and keep treating it just like a live plant and see what happens. It just looks pretty sad right now. But I do want to show you number 2 and number 3. You probably saw them in the clip of the hummingbird situation, but this is number 2. Hi, number 2. This ear is probably as big as my torso right there. So they love life here. This is number 3. And I think I'm gonna leave them until it gets near a frost. And then, you know, cut them down to the ground, dig up the bulb, and try again next year, because they really like it here. I had no idea I could do this with these. I didn't know elephant ears would like it here. Beautiful though. Peppers. They're doing wonderful. I think I overplanted, meaning I planted way too many for me to eat. I have not looked into the farmer's market. They only go for a few more weeks until November 10th, I think. So that might be something, maybe a next year endeavor, or, you know, maybe I should have less pepper plants and more space for other plants that I didn't get to grow, like carrots or radishes or anything that I have in my seed carriage that I didn't plant. But we still have lots of fruit on every plant. I should probably be harvesting, and I'm making a video instead. So yay, look, there I am. Hi. Dun, 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 dun. I was beginning to think that I was going to get away with an entire year without tomato hornworms, but this guy just proved me wrong. So now I have to go in here, and I'm sure he's not alone. And it's crazy because they look so much like tomato leaves. I gotta find them. My mom, I think, wants to maybe help one turn into a moth. So since I have the monarch station, I can sacrifice one for a tomato hornworm, but I don't know that I want to release it in my yard. Like, I might have to take it somewhere and release it, so maybe they don't come back. I don't know. We'll deal with that later. That's a future Diana problem. Other than the hornworm, or worms, I still got production. I do think that this is blight. Maybe whiteflies. I've done nothing to treat either of those things. Splitting has definitely been an issue this season because it rains so much, and when it does rain, it rains a lot, and then it dries up really fast and it gets hot. So this has kind of been a strange season. Even though it's only my 3rd season, it's not been like anything else that I've experienced. But for the most part, I have fruit. I just need to come and harvest it. The back garden bed. I have good news and I have bad news. The bad news is everything that I had planted for a trellis is dead. All the melons, all the pumpkins, everything's gone because of stink bugs. The good news is I have eggplant blooms. Remember? Like, you can still see, I still have a lot of flea beetle damage and flea beetles like right now. But remember when I was like, oh, maybe next year. And I just kind of gave up. I wonder if this one got pollinated. I don't know when I'll know. But look at me go. Sometimes when you just leave things and give them a chance, they'll surprise you. I have absolutely no idea what could have pushed this aside. No clue. Raccoon? I have chicken wire. I might have to look for an entrance or escape area because I didn't move that. Zinnias and marigolds are loving the fact that the pumpkins are no longer choking them out, as are all the weeds along the fence line. So I'll be honest, this back garden bed has not gone exactly how I envisioned it or how I thought it should go. And some of that is just laziness on my part. The other thing could be that it doesn't get as much sun as I thought it would. It's, like I said, 11:30. It's almost full sun, but the tree the tree is providing a lot of shade, and it actually doesn't start getting sun until 8:30 or 9, and as the days get shorter, I don't know that this is the best place for a backyard bed. I just had a bed here last year and I just expanded on it, so I don't know what the future holds for the backyard, but I got a couple more things to show you. Last year I had marigolds. Yeah, last year. I was trying to think if it was the year before, but it was last year. I had marigolds and zinnias and things out here that I put out way too early, but I have some volunteer marigolds. Like, I didn't plant these this year. I'm so happy. They don't get a lot of sun either, so I'm kind of surprised that they're here, but also pretty thankful. And then over here, as I walk over, I don't know if you guys remember, maybe April. What is that? April, maybe the beginning of May, I came over here near my shed and I planted some seeds, and then I stopped talking about it promptly because they never came up until now. Look at this. Look at that. And a little bug. Wow. Pretty sure it's a zinnia. I actually planted like 4 different types of flowers right here just to see what would happen, how things grow. And as you can see right now, it's in the shade. But the way that the sun rises and sets in my yard, the sun will come from over here later this afternoon, and that's when it's getting its sun. And now that we're on this side of the yard, look at all this. It's completely in the sun compared to the corner over there where I have my garden area. It's really shady. So if you're thinking what I'm thinking, there might need to be a garden space over here. What do you guys think? Another factor for that, if I start right here at the edge of the shed and I go all the way over to the house with cattle panels, that'll make it to where the dogs can't go down there. That fence, there's a couple trees that are intruding on the fence, and it's becoming less and less stable as the trees get bigger. So if I cattle panel off that side of the yard, it could be garden space with no dogs involved. Also, there's a lot of like stickers. I don't think they're stick tights. They're like the little skinny stickers that have the little ends that like grab everything. I don't know what they're called. If I can figure out what they're called, I'll put it right here below. But anyway, if I could keep the dogs away from there, the ones that get groomed, they have a lot of hair and they end up catching those little stickers often. So if I could kill two birds with one stone, have a better garden space with lots of sun, and keep the dogs out of there, that might be a win. Well, that was an eventful vlog. Hummingbirds, hornworms, just all kinds of bugs. Oh, there goes a grasshopper, which, by the way, the other day I learned that if you pick them up and they feel threatened, they like vomit some kind of like blood looking stuff, but it's actually like tarry stuff. I don't know. You can Google it yourself if you're curious about what I'm talking about. But thanks for coming back, looking at the update. It's not much. Also, to be honest, I kind of gave up on the garden a little bit. I feel like I get into a slump when it gets really, really hot, and I'd rather be doing other things. But then it's pretty much just a pandemic and there's nothing else to do anyway. So I just stayed inside and played video games. So there's definitely some neglect in the garden that's going on this year. And all I can do is, you know, learn from my mistakes and try again next year, but it's okay. It's okay to get in a rut. It's okay to just, you know, take a step back every once in a while. And it's worth it to take a step back and just, you know, be in your mental health and take care of yourself. So thanks for watching. You'll see me next time.